Hi, this is Jessica Pyska. I am doing an online series of interviews called The Power of Community, where we're talking about how our community is coming together and getting through this COVID pandemic. And today I have Weston Seifert from the Saw Shop and Jason Chavez from Kelseycreek Brewing. And we're going to talk about really how you get through this as a business owner in a pandemic, because I can't think of a more difficult business to run during these times than food and beverage. So first we'll start with introductions. Weston, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us where you live in the community, how long you've been in Lake County, and a little bit about your business.
My name is Weston Seifert. My wife and I moved here from Minnesota about 12 years ago. We live in Kelseyville, about 7 minutes from the restaurant on the other side of Bell Hill. And I mean, we're so happy to be here. I mean, especially now. It's such a great community. The restaurant, the Saw Shop, when we moved here in 2008, I actually worked for Marie for about 4 years, running the bar. So everybody knows Bill. I was pre-Bill. And so I did that for her, and then went and worked at the Yuba Community College in Clear Lake in their culinary program. I did that. I worked with Chef Rob for about 4 years. And then worked for a local food distributor. And by that point, Marie was getting anxious to be done. And so we started chatting, and this space has always been home to me. And so it was exciting that we were able to put something together and be able to do what we do now.
Excellent. Well, I'm really glad that you're here and part of our community, and our daughters dance together. We have as well. Okay, Jason, tell us a little bit about how long you've been in the county where you live, and a little bit about your business.
All right, I'm Jason Chavez, and I've been in the county since 2003, off and on. I came up here early 2003 to start brewing at the Mount St. Helena Brewery years ago. I bought a house on Cobb and I never sold it, and we live up on Cobb Mountain golf course. I went back to Santa Cruz for a long time, but my wife and I came up here. We come up on weekends, and we just love the area up here. And when Ron Chips, who started Kelseycreek Brewery, decided he'd like to retire, he talked to us and we discussed that. And we ended up buying the place, and we took over June of 2016. And we love it up there. We have no desire to ever leave. It's just a great place. It's such a great community. We just love it up here. And the community is so welcoming. And we have our little brewery, as both of you have been to. It's just a great little pub atmosphere, great family oriented, just a great time.
So both of your businesses, you're really gathering places for the community, and you both mentioned how you purchased the businesses from the original operators. So can you talk a little bit on how that transition was for you to become such a vital part of the community? You want to go first, Jason?
Oh, okay, sure. Well, I came up in 2003. Part of the place was a home brewer, so that's how I got to know him, and I got to fall in love with this community. And when we took over, I guess it was a little bit of shock coming from the Santa Cruz area with a much larger community to get used to the more small town feel and vibe. And we didn't know how people were going to really accept us, because we were like the new people. But a few weeks, we just got to know everybody. We've made some of the best friends we've ever had. We just love them to death. I could name names, just how great people are up here. And it was, Ron was sad to go, but I know he's very happy up in Idaho. and he follows us on our Facebook feed or Instagrams or whatever the social medias. And he's very proud of us that we are, I guess, carrying on his legacy and taking it to the next level, just to make just a really small, like you said, a gathering place. We want the pub feel, and I know my wife being from Ireland, and that's a very strong culture over there, the Irish pub. And that's what we're trying to bring into this little community where it just, hey, everybody just comes and shows up, and we have just a great time together. Share the local gossip and just have fun with it. We're just really happy to be here.
And Weston, your transition just began this winter, correct? Was it New Year's Eve? Is that when?
Yeah, New Year's Eve was Marie's official last day. And then I took it over January 2nd, and we opened up like a couple of days later, and so everything was great until about March. And then it got interesting.
So let's talk about that. As I mentioned, these are probably the most difficult circumstances anyone can work under. Since March, you've had to close, open for takeout, open for distancing. Now you're back to takeout. Do you want to walk us through some of those changes that you've been navigating? You can start, Weston.
I'll lead with the fact that I have really amazing people that have chose to play with me. And so they knew me for a couple of months before everything happened. Some of them because I live in the area, they've known me, but they've never known me as an owner or as a boss. And so when everything hit with COVID and we had to shut down and just do takeout, they all very easily could have been like, well, it's easier for us to go on unemployment. We don't know what's going to happen, yada, yada, yada. And they all stuck with me. And so we were able to, I was able to keep about 80% of my staff employed through everything. And we all pivoted like, okay, so we're into takeout now. How do we become the best at takeout? How do we still take care of our community and our guests and give them, a great product that, that we can be proud of and that our customers will enjoy. And that was it. And I've really tried to focus on not what's happening to me, but how I react to it. And I talk with my team, and we have the choice to make, like how we'll react to this, and how do we make it the best of kind of the worst situation. And so that's been fantastic. And so we've been able to pivot quickly, and now with patio seating, I've been working on trying to expand our patios and offer more outdoor seating and stuff like that to be able to, be a service to our community.
And I really appreciate that positive attitude. And I feel like it has carried a lot of our community. You have just found a way to make it work. And let's talk about the family meals that you can get every day. You get a different family meal, and we've come and picked ours up. And this has been such a difficult time, and some days planning a meal is just way too stressful, particularly for families that are trying to homeschool and work. And so having that option has been a real lifesaver, and your attitude has really shown through all of this. So Jason, you want to give us your thoughts on how you've been pivoting and managing?
We've been getting by. We have been. It was when this whole thing really started coming down to fruition, when we knew we were going to shut down. Caroline and I were on vacation out in Washington, D.C. We were flying back on March 17th, the day before my birthday, and we were supposed to have a big shindig here, and I was going to do all the trivia questions on my birthday and just upset everybody because they'd be too tough questions, because they don't like my questions. But we had to realize, and then so the last day we were going was uh, March 15th, and then we had to shut it down. And because we don't serve food, we cannot do outside dining or inside, seating because of that, because of the regulations through the state. So we just had to go to go only. And we've had such great community support from people coming and getting growlers to go. As you know, we are doing the pickup and delivery up on Cobb Mountain, which is great. But it was tough. We had to really sit back, and fortunately, we had about a 6-hour flight from Washington D.C. to really talk about it, plus another few hour car drive, and say, okay, what are we gonna do? Hunker down, and this is what we have to do to get by. We still wanted to be open for our regulars and still give them great beer. Sadly, we had to let go of a couple of our part-time bartenders when this all happened because we were just not open and we just can't bring enough revenue to pay them. And fortunately, they can get unemployment. Hopefully, that doesn't run out too soon for them to survive. And once we do get back up and going, they will have their jobs back with us. We started doing new style of beers, and about a month ago, we started doing seltzers that try to bring in a different clientele and different crowd. We just got our cans, which I will show you again, which are to go, available, 32 ounce. And it's not our official label. They'll hopefully be here this week. And we will start doing hopefully more delivery services. So we can, try to talk, if people want, beers. We're going to try to figure that type of service out and just still try to get good quality beer and then still stay in touch with our community. The toughest thing about this whole shutdown, aside from obviously financial, is just missing the people coming in and the camaraderie. And just, so that's I think the hardest thing on my end of it is just seeing the people coming in every day, smiling and laughing, and just whether they're coming for a soda or a beer or a glass of water just to say hi. So I think that's my biggest issue with this whole shutdown.
Yes, and I so appreciate the growler pickup and drop off that you do on Cobb. And so for anybody that doesn't know, Saturday mornings at the parking lot in front of Timothy Toy's office, you can meet there at 11 with your growler, and Caroline will come and you can drop it in her trunk, and then she'll take it, fill it, and then bring it back in the afternoon.
And then now we're going to start, sorry to interrupt you, but now we'll start where you can just order growlers to go. And we could just fill those so you don't even have to have a growler. We could deliver the cans to you.
Okay, did everybody hear that? You just have to show up at the parking lot on Saturday afternoons and you can get your growler delivered if you don't have a growler. But when you're talking about missing people, that for me ended up being a big social connection for the week. And I feel like I really got to know both of you really well from that over the months. And as a benefit, I could get a growler filled for my husband every weekend, and I got a lot of honeydew projects done. So
I've seen that chicken coop.
So that's been great. I really, really appreciate that. Now let's talk about Bill's videos, his cocktail videos that make everybody thirsty and envious. So Weston, can you chat about that for a minute?
It started with, Bill and I, just trying to come up with a way. We talked about doing like a Zoom happy hour, or, what we all crave right now is some level of normal. And like Jason was saying, like the camaraderie and just some level of conversation. And so, we had thrown around the idea of like the Zoom happy hour, and neither of us were able to kind of figure that out. And then the videos just kind of started sort of organically, like I'm like, well, put together a video. Let's see what this, looks like. And the response to it really has just been so fantastic. And again, it's just that level of normal, and your bartender is, they know you, and so it just creates that camaraderie and that normal and stuff like that. And so it's been really fantastic, and you know, super happy about it.
And the connectivity that we all crave, because
Yes.
we truly miss each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
So you both have talked about some of the improvements that you've made. Were you able to access any of the small business support programs, either the EIDL or the PPP or SBA loans? Jason, you want to start?
Yeah, we got a small from the EIDL, just a very limited grant. The PPE, we were not, I guess, large enough, or we weren't able to really qualify for that. We were able to get a small SBA loan at a, somewhat small interest rate. So that has helped us through these things. And if I go back to the last thing by how we're getting through this, I just wanted to say thanks to guys like Weston and some of the other local restaurants that are continuing to support us from buying kegs from us. So that's also besides the growlers, where Juicy's and Reds and some of these guys, and so that also has helped. But as far as the government
Just 1 second.
things, where it was a little frustrating initially, because when you see it was a lot of the, hey, we got billions of dollars for everybody, and you see these large corporations getting it, and then it's taking us months to get any response or any type of help. It was a little frustrating, but we were able to secure a small loan, which is going to help us get through some of these tough times. We're hoping we are going to have a second round of these shutdowns. So then we have to probably, really get, think about how are we going to stretch the money, to make sure that we don't shut down. And I don't know if they're going to offer other programs. We just gather or glean off whatever the news are saying, whatever information we get. And if there's anything else we can do, that would be, we'll look into it. Like I said earlier, it's like, it's a tough one. And, but, we'll get through, and hopefully aside from some of the federal programs, my issue, I guess, as far as that goes, and I was not supposed to get political, but I guess it was just more of the be it whatever affiliations. Just I think a lot of the lack of communication from our government, either federal or state, and local, which has been very tough, because we just wake up and go, well, what can we do? What can we not do? And then, I wish we'd get a little bit more communication from that, from our local agencies. Hey, this is what's okay to do. This is how you can keep doing your business. We want you to be here. Let us help you. But that, aside from the lack of funding, it's just more of the lack of communication that frustrates me more on that. I guess that's the end of my political rant.
It's understandable. I mean, these are very, very difficult days. Weston, were you able to take advantage of any of those programs?
I was able to get the PPP loan. I'm on the tail end of that. And so then we'll start the process to see about, the forgiveness piece. And it's been helpful. I mean, that allowed me to, be able to bring back all of my staff, and then be able to, do some stuff and around here and all that. So it's worked out well.
Excellent. That's really great to hear. How have you been able to harness social media? We talked a little bit about Bill's videos, and Weston, do you want to talk a little bit more about that? Because it seems to me like you've put a lot of energy into that and using that as a tool to connect to your customer base and growing your customer base.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, social media has been a big piece of what we do. Um, the great thing with social media is that you have immediate contact. Our guests are able to immediately connect with us and vice versa. It's my wife Tara who has done the lion's share of our social media posting, and so a lot of that really goes to her. She putting together the ads and the flyers and stuff like that. She's done just a fantastic job with that stuff, and being able to connect with the customer. But it was a part of the business, the original business plan, to use social media more effectively. I mean, we still continue to get better. We're not on Instagram yet, or really, I'm still trying to figure it out. Stuff like that. But I mean, really trying to use the social media to be able to broaden the conversation, so that even when you're not here, you can still have the conversation with us. You're still connected with us.
And do you have a new website?
We do have a new website. It is www.sawshoppublichouse.com. And that has our menu on it. We also have online ordering functions. So you can go to our website and order online directly from there. You can also make reservations directly from there. You can also access our menus and all that from Facebook, and also make reservations on Facebook as well. So try to just make it as easy as possible.
Well done on that, and it has made it easier. And my husband and I are always looking at it and deciding when we're going to get our meal. Jason, how have you and Caroline been using social media?
I am the wrong person to ask on that because I don't know. Caroline does all that. My wife, she is great at posting. Apparently, on our last post, we got with a video of us doing the new cans. We got over.
That's a great video.
Well, thank you. I didn't take it, but awesome. But yeah, we got over 2,000 and something views of that. People are very excited. I know we're getting a lot more responses on the newer things that we're trying to do, which is really good. It took me about a year and a half ago when I finally got a smartphone. Caroline made me get rid of my flip phone. So that is where I stand on the social media platform. But, then we have our mother of our regulars, Kim Riley, who's very involved with the Visit Kelseyville. She does things for us. A couple of our bartenders, even though they're no longer here with us for right now, the short time, they still promote our stuff. They have, I think they're called admins, so they can promote things. And it's been really, really good, especially since we've been doing these new hard seltzers. Apparently all the cool kids are drinking. We're reaching a completely different audience. And Caroline will show me, and I'm like, I don't recognize those names. So no, these are new people looking in at us, and they want to come in. So that is really good. I really like that. And, especially for people, I think, visiting, it's a tough time for people to come visiting from out of town because of this, with the COVID-19, but we still, if we can bring in people that are visiting from the Bay Area and get interested in us and say, hey, I didn't know that. I had sadly today, I had a guy at the gas station. He's like, where are you at? I'm like, oh, we're right down in Kelseyville. So I've lived here all my life. I never knew there was a brewery here. But if we can get more people to, really get out there, and it's a good resource in, being small business owners, print ads or radio ads, they can get kind of expensive. So it's a good, I guess, less expensive way to get it out there and really bring the community, just show us what we're doing. And I love the fact that when I look at the Facebook things that Weston's always sharing stuff from O'Mara's or other places, Caroline will share other stuff, or our stuff's getting shared by everybody, which is nice for the community just to see how we're all kind of working together for this new form of advertising or getting the word out there. We're still here. We're still open. Let's come support local businesses. I think that's a good.
Right, and that's really amazing. I've seen all the local businesses supporting each other because we have been through so much together, and our community really understands the value of having so many choices and so many options, and that if everybody succeeds, we all succeed. And so it's been really great to see this mutual support and the relationships build. And I really think the rest of the community enjoys seeing the mutual respect. I think that's great. Jason, did you mention what kind of hard seltzer you have right now?
I have probably about 1.5 gallons of the peach ginger, and then I just kegged off the POG, the passion fruit orange guava, which I don't have on tap yet, but for some reason Weston has it on tap at his place right now. He also did that with he also did that with the peach seltzer, the peach ginger that he put on tap before we got it on tap. I don't know how that works. I'm missing something, but
Weston, what's the response for the hard seltzers at your shop?
I mean, it's a fantastic response, and it's exciting to be able to offer the local option. Like, instead of some other seltzer, to be able to go, we have Kelseycreek. They're right down the street. Like, it's fantastic to be able to have that local option, and it's been a really strong positive response.
Excellent. Now, how are both of you feeling with the safety protocols and the sort of stress of keeping yourselves and your staff and your customers safe? How's that going for you? Do you want to start, Weston?
Well, I mean, we start each day like getting the place, re-sanitized and everything wiped down, and the staff, everybody's in a mask, including the kitchen. And I mean, that's when it's, if it's 96 degrees outside, it's 115 in the kitchen. And they're all in masks, and they're all committed to, putting out the safest product and safest environment. So, I mean, it's just where we're at right now and what we do, and we just try to be as vigilant as possible to keep everything clean and sanitary.
Great. And Jason, Carolyn and I have spoke a lot about this over the last couple of months, but do you want to give us your opinion or your thoughts?
I mean, we are following every protocol possible with the mask. We have, I can just reach, we have the sprays, we have the wipes down here, we have everything we're going through, and we have the signs on the doors, and we, we're just, hey, wear a mask when you come in, and we wipe down the tables. We've actually switched to bar napkins because, throwing away every single coaster started to get a little bit pricey. But yes, so everything is done. When we do get to open back up fully for full service, obviously it won't be the same glass, and we are following every protocol. You have to wear a mask when you come in. Once you sit down at the table, we will deliver the beer to you. Sadly, people can't sit at the bar right now. We've spread out, we've taken out, 75% of our tables. I've built a lot of outside seating to spread more people out, which is nice, and just keep the social distancing going. And we're very adamant about that. Sadly on 4th of July weekend, you get a lot more tourists, and I had a big group of 20-somethings. They wanted to come in. We were still able to serve them inside, and told them they had to wear masks, and they weren't having it. But I said, hey, sorry, then you can't come in. But hey, it's we just have to be very, I guess, vigilant about it, and we try to be really good. And we have hand sanitizer behind the bar. We have hand sanitizer for guests to use, and we're just trying to be as safe as possible and make sure everybody feels comfortable being in here when they do get to come back and sit down, and make sure they're they just feel safe and comfortable with that. Try to follow follow all the government regulations that we can.
Right. And that's, really to keep your business open. You don't want to have to close again.
No, we don't. And,
Right.
and besides, from, our customers, our staff, ourselves, we just want to make sure everybody's healthy and safe and they can have a good time. Because I want to see them when this thing gets squashed. I want them to come back in and, and I can argue with them about baseball stats and football. And, I want everybody to stay healthy. I don't want to hear people getting, we want to keep everybody good.
Oh, I love hearing that. I mean, there's so much care in our community for each other, for the health of each other, for our businesses, for surviving, the businesses surviving. And I think collectively, everybody appreciates entrepreneurs like you. You're basically laying it all on the line and you're risking everything on a good day running a business like this. And here you are, just getting through this the very best you can. You both have had extremely positive attitudes. And I think it's collectively helped us move through this, knowing that we have an option where we can stop in and get the growler filled, or we can get the meal to go with a mason jar cocktail also. So those are bright spots for everybody now. And I just want to really thank both of you for all that you're doing, and encourage everybody, shop local, spend your money here. People like Weston and Jason have built these businesses that contribute to the beautiful fabric of what we've got here. And I know that everybody values that. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining my show. And next week, we're going to talk about preparedness, because we are in fire season now. If you have any other topics that you'd like to discuss, you can email me at jessicapyska for supervisord5@gmail.com, or you can visit my website, which is also jessicapyska for supervisord5. Or you can check out my Facebook page. This video is going to be uploaded there this afternoon. So thank you guys again. Keep doing it. Everybody keep spending your money local. It really, really does make a difference. Thanks.
Oh, I want to add a plug real quick. I'm sorry. On Monday nights, we do, or on Mondays, we do a dine and donate. So every Monday and every month, we work with a different nonprofit. So this month, we're working with Hospice Services of Lake County, and I donate 5% of our food sales to that nonprofit at the end of the month. So it is Monday, so come out today, and it's very easy. Just order food and we'll make a donation.
So you caught that, right? It's a pandemic. He's working as hard as he can to keep his business open, and he's still donating to local charities and nonprofits. That is so amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm ordering dinner tonight. Okay, so I'll see you later. All right, thanks everybody for joining, and I'll see you next week.